I'll briefly talk about, the microphone and sound production issues and stuff we have to still experiment with. So we were trying to test out the MXL V69 Studio tube condenser microphone, and the power supply started flickering, and before I could cut power to it, it just stopped working. I'm not sure if there was maybe a short in the XLR three-prong connection, because it was a little bit loose, or if it even runs power in the output versus the input where it provides power to the microphone. But something caused it to start flickering, and then it just wouldn't light up. And guess what? There's no fuses on this power supply. So unless you know what you're doing and can rebuild it or something, you're screwed. So instead of me using the Shure SM57, I just tried the Shure Unisphere 585 or whatever it is, and this is often used as a harmonica microphone. I think I got 2 of them, and comes standard with the phono plug 1/4 inch. And even on full gain, this was nowhere near as loud as the Shure SM57. The SM57 picked up awesomely for Natalie's voice. Even, any noises in her mouth or tongue, like, which is kind of maybe a little bit embarrassing. It picked up everything, whispers and all. So hopefully that worked fine. But even with me talking, louder than her most of the time, this thing just had maximum gain. It just did not pick up very well. So we have some old mics, and like the 120D 8kg doesn't work. This is like a $300 mic if it's in really good condition. Not sure if we could do it, but it's for like interviews and stuff like that. I think it might be just way past its prime. We also have the PVM, what is these, 38s or something? PVM 38s. These were used for church vocals for somebody that sang in a church. They're not very expensive mics, but they would maybe do in a pinch. We've got these old Natty or Nady mics. These were like $10 mics, 15 years ago, and they pick up. They're really loud as far as I remember, but the quality just isn't there. I did like a recording many years ago where I used 2 different mics, and this one to kind of back off a saxophone, and between the 2 mics it did really well. So there are uses for every mic, most likely. Of course, there probably are some cheap Chinese mics that really have no good use for. And this one here, another pretty worn out one. This is an AKG, what is it? Maestro DM700. This one has a really good pickup, but you really need a windscreen or pop filter on it because it picks up very like popping noise. So this one is like number 3 out of extras of what we have. So let me see what else we got. So I think I got 2 of these. These are really old, this one is in rough shape. AKG D1000E. These are often compared to a Shure SM57. They kind of got the built-in windscreen and all on it. So these do well with recording a lot of things, but they do sound differently than the SM57. I wouldn't say this is better or worse, but it probably depends on the sound you're going for. This kind of seems to have a little bit more higher frequency tone, just in my listening to it with like drums and guitar cabs and stuff like that. But this is a good contender. And lastly, the Radio Shack microphone. This is the, I don't have a lot of light here, 33-107 I need more light here. 70C. So apparently Shure makes these mics, and there's also like an EV microphone, RM50E or something like that. This is a clone of, or it might be the exact same mic that's just was branded for two different companies. So this is not an expensive mic even nowadays, but this sounds like a pretty good mic, you know, from my perspective, you know, just limited testing. So I think I was going to buy another Shure SM57 mic, and I've seen a lot of fairly cheap brand new ones on eBay, and the price got me wondering if most of them are counterfeit, you know, at like $45. So I do not really trust them versus going to a real music dealer that is Shure certified. I mean, even the paperwork and everything, they got, you know, they're potentially counterfeit and everything. So these are the two I think I'm going to test. And I think I got one that's in better condition, the AKGD 1000E. And yeah, these, I think our next talks, I'll use one, and then the one after that, I'll use the other. And we will see what it sounds like on the phone, and then see what it sounds like on our TVs. I don't know how many people actually use YouTube on televisions versus mobile, but we watch YouTube every single day on YouTube, on the TV. And the baby is getting into something. Anyway, will we get a replacement power supply for our tube microphone and see what it does? Now, here's why I was thinking. Here's why I was thinking about doing a Shure SM57 before looking up these and listening to them on headphones and stuff. When I did limited testing on the actual tube mic, it picked up so much house noise and everything. You know, so much of that like airy noise. So unless we were in like a super soundproof room, maybe that studio mic is not the best option, because we might have to add some EQ to it. We might have to add, you know, compressors, limiters, stuff that will, you know, only pick up when somebody's talking, and it has to be kind of trained to Natalie's voice, which can go really, really in low volume. So it has to be able to pick up that, but like block out anything under the voice. And like I said, you know, we're not really doing post-production stuff here. You know, not yet. We're not doing editing on our cameras or laptops or anything like that yet. One day we'll be able to do a lot of that post-production on a PC. But for right now, we're just trying to learn the ropes, try to figure out equipment-wise what is best for us and what isn't going to break the bank. We already have these guys. These 1000Es used to cost about $35, and now they're like $200. And this guy, like I said, this Shure Radio Shack model is probably like $40, $60 maybe at maximum. A lot of the microphones that were, you know, $2 or $20 or $30, you know, 15 years ago, they're collectors. This is like a 1970s mic here, so a lot of these people are collecting them now. Even, you know, they're not really wanting the new Shure SM57s. They're saying they're made in a different place, even though they have the same specs. They want the vintage ones from like the 80s or whatever. Anyway, I think that is probably about it. Lastly, I guess I'll talk about the Shure MBL TRRS connector. And it's a condenser, so it has to get low voltage from like the headset of a phone or camcorder or whatever. And it's not compatible with the Ceramonic Smart Rig Plus, even though it has the 1/8 inch connections right here and here. They do make a splitter or some kind of I/O device for these condenser mics. They make at least one. Rode, I think, makes it, that'll allow you to hook 2 of these guys up to a I don't know if it has a lightning connector like that or if it's a TRRS connector. It's hard to tell. So, is this worthless, for us? I would say no. It's still going to be good for like our personal vlog, one-person vlog. We hook the TRRS connector to the like the headphone adapter here for lightning cables, and it should still do just fine. And like I said, if we wanted to do the the Rode I/O device made for 2 clip-on mics, it should work fine. I've read reviews that said they've had TRRS to TRS converters that have worked with this mic, but it seems like that. I don't know if that sounds like that would actually work. Will it get its power from a regular TRS connector? I don't know. It sounds fishy, but anyway. Bye. We're not saying bye yet, but we're almost ready to. Right? Right. Right. So this guy will allow you to plug a guitar or phono like the Unisphere mic, which has the 1/4 inch phono connection or whatever in it. And you got the gain in here on both sides, and stereo, mono, XLR, then the 1/8. So that sucks, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out along the way. We do not know exactly what we're going to do for like oral histories, outdoor recording and stuff. Some outdoor recording stuff we can use a Shure SM57 as sort of like a shotgun mic where it's above the person, but I don't know, wind and stuff. We have the wind filter and all. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so we got the SM57 with the wind filter here. It's kind of been pushed a little bit there. That'll take a lot of the pops and the wind out, but will Natalie's low voice compete? How well will her low voice sometimes compete with the wind? Looks like we got some hair on it there, and we need to pull off, but how well will Natalie's low voice compete with outdoor noises and, like I said, wind and stuff when we're taking the mic instead of being in front of her and pulling it away, 3 foot, whatever, from her face and just kind of aiming it at her mouth? Will it still pick it up, the little nuances of her mouth and stuff? I don't know. So we might end up having to do like a wireless clip-on mic or something else.